Hello,
How's it going, everybody? Well, everybody.
everybody. The one person.
Yeah, nobody here yet.
Yeah. So maybe we just.
Well, for the replay,
For the replay,
I'm Catherine,
I'm John,
and we are on Old Reading Farm.
Old Reading Farm.
We go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is ahora
Which means right now.
en español.
Sí.
Yo hablo español muy bien,
Más o menos.
más o menos. Y todas las semanas, nosotros, we put out videos every Monday and Friday.
There you go. Monday and Friday, usually in the morning. And we go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Right now there are 0 people. Oh, there's one. So, yeah. That's us. I'm John. This is Catherine.
And does Pebbles want to say hi while we're... Hello, Jess and or Dustin. How are you? Pebbles, come say hi.
Come here.
No, I'm being good right now.
Yeah, leave her alone. So,
Oh, hi, 4 people here now. Great. So, this week we're going to talk about new things that are happening around the farm.
we got both of them. Just
A twofer.
A twofer. Hooray.
Hooray!
Yeah.
So, you
Well,
want-
so let's go backwards on this because that's pretty big. So
Oh, okay. John's going to save the big item for last,
well, just for later
for later.
because it's only a minute into this thing and
Yeah.
there's not usually there are more people show up. So,
Grab Pebbles. Let's do a pup date.
yeah.
Pebbles has gotten huge.
Well,
She's getting along pretty well with the big dogs. Pepper and her have been playing pretty well outside, which is good. Peanut and her are totally good.
yeah.
Pepper's still
Except when she bites, but
she's still teething.
yeah.
Pepper and her are not crazy about each other when they're inside. Well, I mean, Pepper isn't crazy about Pebbles when
Right.
they're inside. Oh, look at how big she is. Oh, and sleepy.
So sleepy.
Oh, so she's getting better. Thank you, Pebbles.
Yeah. House training is going a little bit better. Less frequent accidents.
Yeah, though she did have one last night, or was
Yep.
that the night before?
No, that was last night.
Yeah.
But, you know, it happens.
Show the puppy belly. Hi, Rob. Look at this puppy belly.
Ouch.
Okay.
So
That's our Pebbles update.
that's our pup date. Yeah, but she's doing good.
Yeah, she's... Hey, the Tin Can Gardener, how are you?
So it's nice to see all the dogs getting along better, especially outside. It'll be better when she's much bigger too, because
Hi, Teresa.
the big dogs every once in a while just scare the crap out of a little dog.
Yeah, and the thing that with Peanut, the thing that happens most often is there'll be like consensual playing going on, and then Peanut will just like take it a little bit too far and like scare Pebbles, and she'll do the big yelp, and that kind of scares Peanut,
Yeah.
and Peanut's like, oh no, what have I done? And she'll like run back, and everybody will kind of like retreat to their corners for a minute.
But they're all fun.
Yeah. Overall, everything is going really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the pup date.
And do you want to do a river
Sure.
update next?
So we have this barn cat named River, and I want to emphasize
She's a barn cat.
barn cat.
I'm
she's-
allergic to cats.
Cat is allergic to cats. And so the barn cat is not allowed inside the house
Never.
because of that.
Right.
And also she's here on a work permit.
Yes.
So
Hey, home on Magnolia Hill.
anyway, so she's supposed to live in the barn, but some of us feel bad.
Hey, Mulberry Branch Farm.
And have been letting her sleep in the mudroom. So now our barn cat sleeps in the mudroom and stays in the mudroom all day.
Yeah.
So she ain't catching mice, not doing anything else. And so I made her like a little house out in the barn that was like, nice and compact and fluffy and
Yeah,
protected.
he moved her bed from the mudroom out to the barn.
Yeah.
Hey, Sweet Pea Farm, how are you?
Because, barn cat, not a mudroom
I-
cat.
But you know what? So during the snowstorm, though, I think it was
That's fine.
consensual
That's
that she
fine,
was
yeah.
inside, and she
Yeah.
she doesn't like to have her. Yeah, she is a freeloader.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. She doesn't. She's not liking the snow. Top
No.
Ledge Road here. In Reading, that's cool.
I'm sure. Did you post it in the group?
No, but you posted it on your her work
I
permit.
posted
Yes.
it. No, so she did really well in the summer, you know, and we just got her, so she's doing
Hey,
okay.
Joey and Carlton, how are you?
I would just prefer that she worked outside.
Top Ledge Road due tonight, and I bet we're not gonna have 3 days, so you can go over or under on either of those.
So
things.
for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there's a big storm heading our way,
Hey, Pathways Homestead.
Um,
Thanks for stopping in.
and we got a call from our electric utility saying to expect multi-day power outage. So
They were like planned for it, and we're like, how do you plan to lose power for
It's like-
multiple days
it's like-
starting on Christmas Day?
you should plan for it.
Yeah, but they did say what they said was that they canceled everybody's vacation. So anybody who had, which like is
That sucks because it's Christmas time,
sucks.
but.
so like people who had vacations already planned and scheduled now get them taken away. But
Well, and that's the thing, like with all these power outages, it's oftentimes like the linemen and women who get like yelled at on the street
right,
when they're like
Not-
literally doing
yeah,
their jobs.
right, they're fixing the
and
problem.
like great, hopefully they get paid like overtime.
I know, I hope they do.
But like they have a hard job, and it's not fun, and you're never thanked for it. But anyway,
Yeah, so I'm going overnight between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day
Yeah.
for at least 3 days.
yeah.
And if that happens, Rob Poley, we're gonna bring some chicks to your garage because we have the brooder going and we need the heat lamp and brooder plate on and warm, or else they'll all die. So get ready.
You have power in the garage, right? Yeah, you got power. So I'm sure Terry will be okay with that. Anyway. So yeah. So the other thing we are working on. So we actually don't have a generator.
John looked at buying one like today.
Yeah. So we could get a generator and like power the heat lamp, but we wouldn't be able to power our well pump because it's like direct hardwired into our house. So one of the things we're considering next year is getting
Jory and Carlton, you're losing power too. I hate to break it to you.
yeah, out of the three of us, Rob and Terry are gonna have power. But so we would need a whole home generator to run the well pump. So like there's no point in like getting like a $800 or $1,000 generator just to run refrigerator or something.
Hey,
So-
Fleetwood Patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we on the generator subject, if we thought that we were gonna stay here like forever, we would get one of those whole home generators that runs on propane, and like as soon as you lose power, you don't have to like go out and do anything. It just
Right.
like automatically starts up.
Yeah.
But this is not where we're gonna be forever. We're feeling like caged in by the amount of land that we have and like the zoning regulations related to the amount of land that we have. So we won't be
Yeah.
here forever.
Yeah.
And since they're like $10,000, that's like
Yeah, at least.
you need to go through numerous storms in order to
So
have that pay for
pay
itself.
for itself, right?
Right.
So we'll see. Hopefully, the weather people are just wrong, and
Hopefully the Eversource. I don't mind if it rains.
yeah,
And
they're
it's
saying we're
windy.
gonna get like 2.5 inches of rain tomorrow, which is
And 70
Ridiculous.
mile an hour winds, which
Yeah.
will be fast.
a website for the first time ever. It was funny. I was looking at the site for a long time because that's what I do for a living, and so I felt like it was a little silly that that's what I do for a living, and I don't, we don't have a website. But anyway, I was going around and shopping on like GoDaddy and stuff like that, and then I went away from it, and then I got started a Facebook ad for GoDaddy for like $1 a month. So that's how that happened. So yeah, so we're setting that up. Old Reading Farm website, and
Did we get the domain oldreadingfarm.com?
we did. Yeah.
When will that go live, do you think?
Well, it's technically live right now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
People could go to it?
Good. It's not. It's unfinished, but we don't have a whole lot at the moment anyway. But we got a blog up there that we're gonna be like doing some of our videos and making blogs. Me. And we'll eventually have stuff for sale up there.
Yeah, when we get the alpacas shorn,
Yep.
we'll list the yarn for sale there, which will be cool. I put in a whole home generator, 16 kilowatts, one's on natural gas, wicked awesome, and automatically switches. I don't have to do nothing. Yeah.
9,000 Canadian.
That's the move. Because I don't
Right.
really want to spend $800 on a generator that then like
It's gonna run on diesel and it's gonna
and
be
they're
loud.
so loud, and you have to like fill it up, and like then you're like plugging extension cords into. I think the way you did it is the way to go.
Right.
We just don't want to spend
Totally,
$9,000
yeah.
until we're going to be able to use it for like multiple years.
Right.
Like many multiple years.
Many multiple years.
But the funny thing is, probably some people know, I used to work for Whole Foods Market, and I worked for the store in Fairfield, Connecticut, and they have a big standby generator, because if a grocery store loses power, it's a big deal, because if you lose refrigeration, I mean, like, a person in their home losing refrigeration for a day or two is a big deal, because all your food could spoil, but, multiply that by a zillion for a grocery store. So anyway, this big whole store generator is supposed to be like the automatic no effort switch through, and then a big hurricane came through, knocked out power. It didn't turn on, and normally when grocery stores are expecting power outages, they like buy dry ice or rent refrigerated trucks, and Fairfield didn't do anything because they were just expecting that generator to turn on, and then it was like lights go out, and you're like waiting for them to come back on, and they never do. It was so bad. That was a disaster.
Sounds like a disaster.
Yeah. Mud farmers now with the rain, possibly without power. Yeah, well, so we still have not a full, we got a foot of snow, and it's melted down to just a couple inches by now. But yeah, if it rains 2.5 inches of rain on top of 4 to 6 inches of snow left on the ground.
Where we are, we have poorly draining soil all over the place,
Also.
so we are familiar with the mud farmer.
Mm-hmm.
We are one with the mud farmer.
Yeah, it's going to be a muddy disaster.
We are the mud farmers. So
But
it'll be good.
nothing we can do about it. Utilities company have plans for generators, so you pay a little at a time. Oh, that's good to know.
Interesting.
Like kind of, well, it's like how solar panels, maybe you can like, not quite lease solar panels from them, but like buy
Yeah.
and pay them back or something. It's interesting.
Do you have to do that right now? But yeah, so that's all stuff that's happening. What else? So I'm gonna jump around here. So
Okay.
we're also I'm building a chicken coop out of an old playscape. So we went to this if you go to like Facebook Marketplace, or at least in our area, there's like free playscapes all over the place. And so we went, and I was able to actually take apart the whole thing and load it into the truck and trailer
Hey, Keto Homestead with Jess, how are you?
all by myself. I was pretty proud of that. And so anyway, so we got like the main like treehouse part that's going into it's now becoming a chicken coop, and we're also building it with we live really close by to a lumber
Hey, Adrian.
mill, and he gives us all of the top cuts that he gets from his bandsaw mill. So we are siding it with free wood. So trying to build a free chicken coop out of reclaimed stuff.
Fleetwood Patch, right now we have about 50, give or take. And we have a few more coming. Don't tell the town. In March, we're getting some silkies from Cackle Hatchery, which should be exciting. Their silkies are like bantam chickens for them to be official. I think their top weight to be like allowed is what did she tell me on the phone? Like 2.5 pounds,
Yeah,
maybe.
two to three or something.
Yeah, so they're super tiny. They'll be really cute, fuzzy, adorable. And I saw even the Sparrow said something about the founder of Whole Foods and his plant-based diet. Were you talking about John Mackey? He's a really interesting dude. He wrote a book. So if you are into books, you should look at the book he read. Whole Foods had us read it as basically homework, which was interesting. But John Mackey's a cool dude. He keeps chickens, and the only time he's not totally vegan is when he's occasionally eating one of his free range chicken eggs.
Interesting.
Yeah, he is super interesting. But he also.
He also what?
Not to talk about. I don't want to talk about Whole Foods too much, but Whole Foods has a couple, like, programs to encourage their employees to be like more healthy, which makes sense since they pay for your health insurance. So I get it, but it's interesting. He can like send people to these like health programs where they like teach you about like plant-based diets and everything. Anyway, it's just interesting. He's an interesting dude. I mean, and he started like an empire and then sold it to Bezos. So
Goals.
yeah, I would love Bezos
I'd love
to
build
buy
an empire
anything.
itself, yeah.
Yeah. So
Old Reading Bezos.
call us.
Yeah. So we have a rodent issue with our chicken food. They're
A low-key rodent issue.
low-key rodent issue. But they're just, like they're biting holes in our chicken feed bags and dumping it out. So
Yeah, right now everything is stored in like an outside shed.
woodshed, yeah.
Right. So we store our pine shavings for inside the coops, our hay bales. Well, though we're not doing hay bales so much anymore.
Right, but we would store our straw bales. But now we have like our pellets for our pellet stove in there, along with our chicken feed. And so we're just getting like some holes in the bags, and then the food spills out, and not good. So we're building again with
More work permits. Yeah, we tried to hire a second worker.
yeah, and the cat lives right around here now, so I'm surprised that we have any. But so what we're doing now is we're building a little shelter for Adrian, 2 metal garbage cans. So we're going to start storing our feed in there because looking online, doing a bunch of research, like that's the only way to keep them out of anything. So metal garbage cans it is, and we're just doing something with again like the top cuts from the lumber mill, just to make it look a little bit nicer.
Yeah, and we've got it up on feet. Oops, sorry. We've got it up on feet so that they don't like dig and burrow underneath it.
And so it's easier to get in there, and you don't have to bend over as far to
Right.
all
So
that stuff.
for years, literally years, we did all of our food in like trash can feeders, and chickens could feed 24/7. Never took it away, and we never ever had problems with rodents. And now all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like suddenly this year, for the first time ever.
Well, it's because we had some in the coops or in the runs where the food was. So then we started taking the food out of the runs, but then they just kind of
moved.
followed the food, so it kind of backfired on us a little bit. But we're gonna fix it now.
Yeah. We're gonna do what we have to do to get rid of them because they're not invited to live on the farm.
Yeah.
And I saw you ask if we have coyotes in this area occasionally, but not. We don't face like constant coyote pressure, which is good. There's a 49-acre like farm/home right across the street. So I think, given the choice between our backyard and their backyard, they opt to go next door.
Yeah.
I feel like the ecosystem cycles. We've been without raccoons or coyote probably for years, and then this year they're out in droves. Yeah, I definitely think that's true. And whatever drives these cycles, we're in an up cycle for sure. And you know what? The other thing, there used to be this way. There used to be that old barn.
Oh yeah.
And then it got torn down.
That's true.
And it's kind of like that's what triggered them. Like they all had to seek alternative housing. So.
That's a good point. Yeah. So there used to be like a 2-story barn on the property next to us.
Because the lot next to us was vacant for years and years. The whole time I lived here, it was vacant. Nobody ever lived there. And now they've built this like beautiful house. But there used to be an old barn on their property right on the road.
That's a good thought.
And they tore it down.
I didn't
Hey
think of
TNS, how are you guys?
So
maybe that's what's driving our cycle right now.
that could be it.
Yeah. But we saw, I don't know if you saw, did you see the person who posted that they have rat terriers or something?
I've seen a couple suggestions for that.
Yeah, there's somebody in Connecticut who does that.
Yeah.
And I emailed them. I was like, hey, how much do you charge? How does it work? Do you have any guarantees? So we'll see. One reason why we haven't torn down the second manufactured home on the property yet. Oh, I didn't know you have a whole second house. You should Airbnb that. I bet people would love to go hang out with you and your donkeys.
Or make it a donkey house.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. Oh, do not bite me. I'm getting bit.
Okay. That's too big.
Could she just go away? Oh, it's full of rats. Yeah, I guess that would make for a great Airbnb. Maybe you have to charge.
Airbnb for cats.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Cat B&B.
Cat B&B. Airbnb cat.
They were talking on NPR about an Airbnb, so that people can put, "Hey, journey along with Shannon. How are you?" People can pay, or not pay you, but I'm sure you probably pay for it. But to, you know how some people sometimes look to have honeybees put on their property. Airbnb. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was
Clever.
pretty funny.
I'm surprised Airbnb didn't sue them.
They probably will at some point.
Yeah, once they're big enough to matter.
No.
Also good, thank you. Can't be used.
Hardship home.
What is that?
Something. I don't know. Full of rats though.
Yeah.
That's no good.
Well, when you tear it down, those rats are going to be looking for alternative housing.
Well, it's like Rick was saying with the cockroaches in New York City. Like if you clean them out of one apartment, they're just going to go to like
Yeah.
another apartment.
Gross.
Yeah. Aren't pests just the best?
I know. Sorry, we're talking about like
Yeah.
such lovely things.
Yeah. Well, and also speaking of like mice, so one of the
Oh, Hidden Springs Farms. You do that on your own farm? I want to follow up with you about that because I have some thoughts and I want
about
to.
what?
Farm stays,
What does that mean?
where people can travel around, stay on farms, and maybe like work or see what it's like, or just do like
Yeah, yeah.
agro-tourism. Someday, maybe. Anyway, we'll talk. Hidden Spring Farm. I need a pen though.
Okay. So the other cool thing that we did was my parents have friends that live up in Vermont on a 100-acre hay farm, which is where we usually get the hay for our alpacas. But they were so popular this year that they sold out. Sorry, the dog is just bothering Peanut, so I'm just gonna. So anyway, so they had an old horse trailer that we bought from them for 2 dozen chicken eggs. So that was nice. 150 acres, sorry. I want to make sure I get that right.
That's how much land that they have?
Yeah. So anyway, so they had this old horse trailer that they did not need anymore, so they sold it to us for 2 dozen chicken eggs. So now we have a 1990 Wilrow two stall horse trailer. If you check us out on Instagram at Old Reading Farm, you can see a nice little picture of it. It's got beautiful patina, rust, and it's really nice. It's cool.
We bought like a big thing of Bondo from Walmart.
Yeah.
Like the day I got back.
Yeah. So one of the projects that we're gonna have next year is a little resto project on that. So we're gonna go in and just shine it up a little bit, make it look good, and that way we'll have some transport for our animals if we ever need it, and it'll just be good to kind of have. Thank you.
So I drove all the way up to where is it? Middlebury, Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
From Connecticut to Middlebury, Vermont. I drove to and back in one shot. And when I was like Googling it, it was like 4.5 hours. I was like, okay, 4.5 hours there, 4.5 hours back. That's 9 hours. I think I can do that. And somehow it took me 11 hours.
We also stopped.
Yeah, I had to. I made a couple stops. Most of them were to pee or get gas, but it was a long day. It was a long day of traveling, and I have never driven. I mean, obviously, I've never driven a livestock trailer. We didn't own one until this weekend, but.
So we had to get. So it's a dual axle. So we had to get a brake controller installed, and who knows if it actually works or not. We should.
Puppy just jumped off the couch, and anytime Puppy jumps off the couch, she is ushered straight outside so she doesn't have an accident. But yeah, so John was talking about the brake controller, because we have a Chevy Colorado, and it's designed to pull a certain amount of weight. I don't know. Yada yada.
So it can. So nerdy truck stuff. So it can pull 7,000 pounds because Kat, when she bought the truck, got the advanced towing package. So it had everything ready for it. So 7,000 pounds it can tow. The trailer weighs 2,100 pounds, and it has brakes. And it's just one of those things where, don't risk it. If it's got the brakes use the brakes because it is a lot of weight. So we got the brake controller installed, and Kat went up there and picked it up. I drove it all the way back. Proud of her. She did a good job.
Well, and I just wanted to read Hidden Springs Farm. We Airbnb our century farmhouse. Guests can experience farm life or just enjoy our wicked awesome 90 acres. So do you think anybody would be interested in experiencing farm life on like a much smaller scale? Because we're only on 1.8 acres, and I don't know if people would get here and be disappointed in.
Well, also they might be disappointed when they have to sleep, in the bed with 3 dogs.
With us and Toots in
Yeah.
the same bed?
Tight quarters.
Yeah.
You get a real intimate look at the farm.
Stop, the puppy's being so bad. But yeah, so the brake controller is supposed to help. It like has some kind of sensor in it that when you stop the truck,
It triggers the brakes.
it triggers the brakes in the trailer. But you have to like adjust it up or down. So they want you to like get going 20 miles an hour and then slam on the brakes, and then like you're supposed to be able to tell by feeling whether or not the trailer's brakes worked. And I'm like, so and the people that we picked it up from live on a dirt road, and like as I was getting ready to leave, he was like, you won't be able to tell on the dirt road, you have to do it on the pavement. So like just for good measure, I did it once on the dirt road, but I didn't like getting to go up to 25 miles an hour and then just like slamming on the brakes. It like, I don't know, it made me nervous.
Yeah.
And like, even though I'm like telling myself like, okay, now you're gonna slam on the brakes, I would still like, meow. So like, I'm not actually sure that I ever got that auto breaker thing totally set up. I think maybe I did, but
Well, again, it's
maybe I didn't.
well under the max tow weight.
And
of
the trailer
truck,
was empty.
So it's fine. Yeah.
So empty except for when I got up there to pick it up, they were showing me they have hay hangers where you can like put hay in them and then hang it from the ceiling so that if you're traveling with horses and they use the bathroom on the ground, it doesn't like get into Dieselberger. Anyway, so that the like horse manure doesn't like sweep into the hay. Oh, it's look at that. That's why we need a moderator.
Is that a spammer?
Hey, our first spammer. Cool. Hello.
You're leaving me hanging here.
Oh, sorry. How do we block somebody? Sorry. Hide user on this channel. Okay, bye. It was nice having you.
Dieselberger.
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 Everybody Google Dieselberger just for fun.
So that's actually, that spammer is a good segue into our next topic.
You're slamming through these topics. We've only been going live for 28 minutes.
So what else do you want to talk about?
Well, I was talking about the hay, and I was going to talk about the
Sorry.
mice.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert. Oh, hi, Virginia in the house. How are you? I just set by number in the control and manually engage the control.
That's the little button I was telling you about.
Yeah, I did. I was pushing the buttons, but
Well, so there's 2 sets of buttons. There's
yeah,
the buttons
up and down.
And then there's the squishy button that actually activates the brakes.
Might have driven home the whole way without the brake controller.
That's okay.
But it had like a little red light, so I figured it was fine.
Yeah, so when you're slowing down, the red light comes on when it's
Yeah, it was doing that.
supposedly activating.
Right.
We don't even actually know if the brakes in the trailer work, so.
But anyway, so the hay hanger, she like picked up the hay hanger to show me, and it was like a scurrying of mice. There were like 12 or 15 mice living in that little bale of hay, and they all went like flying, and they have dogs, and one of the dogs caught one of the mice and was like, oh, it was hey, don't do that. It was a mess.
Yeah.
How can you make a chicken coop smell better? There's
a question.
So we just found out about compressed pine pellets, which help absorb moisture, but there's also a lot of people use lime.
Yeah, it's some type of lime. I
Yeah.
don't think it's just regular garden lime.
Right. Yeah, but I'm sure if you went to your local, Tractor Supply or Agway or whatever, but these compressed pine pellets, they smell a little bit piney,
Game
and
changer.
they absorb all the moisture, and then they kind of like break down and create like a barrier. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Horse stall refresher.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So, but these the pine pellets we got for outside in our run for when it rains, because when it rains it turns into a mud fest around here. Yeah, barn lime.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. So the other thing, obviously the more often you can clean it out, the better. During the winter, if you do like the deep deep litter method, and you just have a lot of litter and shavings and stuff in there. You know, however often you can refresh. Oh, rosemary, that's a good idea. Powerful. Herbs.
Even the sparrow, is rosemary a perennial in your area? Because I think it's pretty much an annual in our area, so we would never have any to spare. Stored hay in our little horse trailer for a bit this year, and you didn't know it, but when you opened up the door and found it a very flat mouse. Whoops.
Whoops.
Yeah, hay storage is tricky. The next time we build a barn from scratch, I'm going to demand a nice hay loft. Because I think we don't, if you get rodents in your hay, then you can't, like, your livestock aren't really going to eat it.
6B.
So,
We are 6B.
yeah.
Yeah, and we would have. So I built the alpaca barn, and
rosemary.
and when we built it, I worked with I had to work with the building and zoning department, and they would not let me build a gambrel roof. So we would have had to get engineered trusses for them to approve it, which would have cost like another $2,500. So that's why we don't currently have the hay loft. We have a separate little hay storage thing. But I agree, it would be nice to have a hay loft. And actually, we had found some website, I forget who sells like kits for barns and garages and stuff like that. So like they sell like a 12 by 24.
Yeah, Facebook was listening to us have a conversation about barns, and now all we're getting served is ads about barns.
Well, it was also a video I had watched previously on YouTube, and so you can get like everything from just the frame to like the frame and the siding and the roofing and all that.
Homestead.
And they were pretty cheap. So that was kind of cool. So that might be a consideration for the next time. Especially with like
Lamar East Coast Neighborhood Crip.
Wow.
What's that?
Lumber is getting so freaking expensive.
Lumber is wildly expensive. If you get a hay loft, a hay elevator is a must for years. Mark and I were throwing it up and down. So, and that was one thing that I saw when I was driving to and from Vermont to get this trailer. A bunch of the farms out there, because they have these huge barns, and they have this like conveyor belt set up.
Is that the hay elevator?
Yeah, well, I don't know I'm sure there's like hay actual elevators. This was more like a hay escalator. But
So if like the loft is up here, it goes.
that's what I was seeing.
Yeah.
But I bet Mulberry Branch Farm has something like inside their barn.
Like a dumbwaiter.
Yeah, right. More like an elevator. That's just what I'm picturing. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm maybe putting words in your mouth, but you say elevator, and I think.
What's a hay elevator?
But they had like hay escalators outside. They were super cool. I was like, oh, smart people. Hay elevator.
It's a hay elevator.
Yeah. But yeah, and then maybe the barn cat would actually sleep in the barn if we had a nice, cozy.
Yeah.
Hey, Pepper.
Maybe we get multiple cats.
Maybe.
So, yeah. But now we found that our alpacas actually eat the local, or no, it's not local. It's actually Canadian. They eat the imported Canadian hay because, again, our Vermont guy is sold out. So we're able to get the hay locally. It's a little bit more expensive, so we don't need to necessarily get like 40 at a time. We can kind of go as we go, especially because it's so much more expensive. But
yeah, this Canadian hay that we're buying, we're getting from Agway, which is like a farm store around here. I don't know if they're everywhere or not. But the hay bales are $11 per bale, and when we were able to get the stuff from Vermont from the people who gave us the horse trailer, it was $5 a bale.
Yeah.
But we had to drive all the way to Vermont to get it, so it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, the escalator is called a hay elevator.
There you go. So, but yeah, so like even doing the math, like driving up there, not counting like the time in the car, but just counting the cost for gas. That would even still just put the cost of the bales at like $7 per bale.
I did pretty much 2 full tanks of gas driving up and back.
So-
Hi, Pepper, come up here. You can fit, big girl. It's okay.
No.
Sweet Pea Farm, how much are they where you are? Because we can also, you can get like local CT hay from Agway, but instead of being 11, they're like 5, but,
I think they're like 8.
or
Yeah.
8, but the hay is no good.
Right, because Connecticut is, I guess, is not conducive to hay growing. I had no idea how complicated it was to grow hay until I talked to our guy in Vermont about it, and I was trying to figure out with him earlier this year, like, so when are you gonna have the second cut hay? And he's like, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? And he's like, it depends on the rain. If we get the rain, we get the hay. If we don't get the rain, we don't get the hay. And so anyway, so I guess he got the rain, he got the hay, and then he got all the people who wanted it. And sold out. But anyway, I'm gonna show it.
I was thinking about it, but since they're inside, Pepper came downstairs for the first time today. But Pebbles is like going under her undercarriage, and Pepper hates that.
Yeah. She's very uncomfortable right now. But anyway, who knew you could know so much about hay?
Yeah, and the fact that they enter like hay competitions or whatever, and
Yeah.
have like award-winning hay.
He won a siding competition at, and I think his hay did win an award, but he also won like a siding competition at like the Vermont County Fair back many years ago.
You cut your own hay, but if you had to buy it, it's $3 a bale from a farmer out of the field, out of the feed store. $5. Well, maybe we
Yeah.
should just find out how far away you are. See
Yeah.
if we could drive there
Yeah.
instead of Vermont. Because I don't know, probably a lot of parts of New York are closer than where we go in Vermont to get hay.
Well, one of the good things about having a horse trailer is that we could fill it full of hay and not have to worry about it raining on the way home or something like that. Because when we did it previously, we'd use our landscape trailer, which is all open. So if it rained on the way back, it would ruin, most of the hay.
Right.
You stop.
Yeah, so we had to be careful about like when we went, but then we would be like, okay, well we only have 3 bales of hay left, so I guess I'll put them outside. Dogs want to go outside? Hi, big girl. You wanna go out?
So, all of this for the alpacas. Like literally driving to Vermont for alpacas. Yeah, $78 a bale. Like that would be great around here. And we've even looked at like the local farms, but it's just not a great quality hay. This guy in Vermont, I don't know what he did, but it's just beautiful. And like we got our alpacas hooked on it, so then that was all they ate. But now we found out that they can eat the Canadian stuff, and so I guess they got some good stuff going on in Canada, so that's good. That is nice, but yeah. So what else? So I guess maybe what we could do is cut like a little hole. I wonder if, do you think we could put a cat door in the hay storage?
That hay store?
No, the hay storage out there.
Oh.
See, I think this is like,
Yeah, I don't know. Are there any barn cat experts in the house? Because our barn is basically like a 3-sided run-in. So it's not like super cozy and warm for an outside cat. Next video. So John built like a little tiny cat house to try to make it feel like a little bit cozier. But
maybe I could put it up in the rafters. So it's
The
out
cat
of the way.
house?
Yeah. And then little steps.
yeah, I don't. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you can try whatever you want. Because if they don't go up there, you can just take it down.
Or just leave it up there.
Or you just leave it up there.
Yeah.
If you have a local shelter, they may have a barn cat program. Yeah, that's where we get our
Yeah.
cats. It's the people that we get our cats from, they like capture strays, spay them, and then try to find barns for them to live in. But the first feral cat that we got is like a super friendly. She deserves to be a house cat so badly. I just wish.
Yeah, and we don't have any problem with her being on the property. And she did a good job all summer, and she lived outside, and she loved it. And we got plenty of mice. She got a chipmunk, and even let a chipmunk go one time accidentally, but that was pretty funny. So she like caught it, and then she was like showing off. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's a chipmunk," and then she let it go, and then it took off. And then she pretended for the next 5 minutes like she was hunting it, like she, but like clearly just at grass.
It was gone.
Yeah, but so she does fine. It's just
she's a little small. I think is maybe part of why.
Yeah, that's true.
She's a lot fluffier now. Like,
It's so funny. She's got her winter coat and she looks fat.
yeah.
But she's not fat. It's
She's
just fluff.
super fluffy.
Yeah.
So we were thinking like maybe a bigger cat, maybe a male cat,
Meaner cat.
somebody with a little more attitude.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I got that insulation out there. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Right. And in the summer she was fine. She didn't
Yeah.
hardly want to come inside at all
Yeah.
over the summer. And in the summer the rodent problem, the rodent issue, the rodent situation was worse than it is now. It's not as bad now.
Right.
So we'll just keep plugging away.
Yeah.
All right. Ready for the big reveal?
Which one's the big reveal?
Oh, yeah. Why don't we talk about?
Yeah.
We have two other things to cover.
So something really big for us, which happened a couple of days ago, is we got monetized on YouTube. So I apologize. That means that some of you are going to have to sit through ads. And we appreciate you sitting through the whole ad, because that is what it is. But anyway, so we've been on YouTube since September of 2019, so it's been a little over a year. Yeah, thank you. So we've put up over 100 videos in that time, and so we've gotten, we have 1,600. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, even the sparrow. Appreciate that.
So we have over 1,600
For
subscribers.
ads on our videos? Oh, I guess two in the beginning, two at the end. That's how they do it.
Maybe, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so over 4,000 watch hours, so we got all the things, and then we applied for it, and we got it, so this is great. It's always been one of those things where we always try to find things that can sort of, offset their costs, and so it's a really big step for us, and it's big.
Yeah, so our projected ad revenue right now is $2.56. We're really looking forward to cashing that check. We're not going to spend it all in one place.
How could you?
How could you not? It's like buy a candy bar.
But anyway, so wanted to say thank you to all of you. Couldn't do it without you. And we are just super excited and happy. And again, sorry that you're gonna have to sit through the whole.
So right.
Just kidding. But so yeah, so that was huge for us. That was a big goal.
Yeah.
It's been a journey
Yeah.
getting here. So I'm gonna let.
Yeah, we gotta let Pepper back inside. She's ready. Hi, Pebbles. Look at how cute she is. She's a good girl.
Come on.
That's so exciting. So happy for you guys. Thank you, Sweet Pea Farm. It took a long time. I guess a year is not that long in the greater scheme of things. And one channel that I watch a lot of and really, really look up to is Garden Answer, and she's got over 1 million subscribers, which is absolutely.
It's wild.
It's wild. It's mind-boggling. She was the first gardening-centered channel to ever get over 1 million subscribers. And when they talk about their beginning days, they said for the first year they were gaining about 3 to 4 subs a day, which is also the rate that we were gaining at. And we're like, we'll be just like them, which is totally not true. She's so informed, and she knows what she's talking about. She has this long history with gardening and really deep comprehension that we just lack.
And she's just genuine and pure.
She's so nice. They talk about parasocial relationships. I absolutely feel oh, if we lived closer, we would be friends, which is totally not true because she's so much classier than we are. But anyway,
we're not classy.
it was cool to hear her say that for the first year they gained subscribers at about the same rate that we are gaining, and then obviously she took off like a rocket and will probably stay on this little slow trajectory, but it's still it's cool to see that somebody you look up to kind of came from a similar.
Yeah, because it's and I'm sure there's a lot of people who are watching this right now who feel the same way. It's not super easy. You think you just film something and it just all kind of comes together, but trying to make it good while you're also trying to do something is hard, because then instead of trying to like build a greenhouse, you're trying to like think about framing and like talking about everything.
Sorry, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
And so it just, it makes everything take a lot longer. So, doing projects while you're also filming and trying to think about the next video and all that kind of stuff, it's a lot more difficult than you might think, but now it's becoming worth it.
Hopefully worth it.
Hopefully worth it.
I mean, $2.56
Yeah.
is not exactly like, oh, worth
Right,
it. Take
but-
that check to the bank.
Right, but it's also been nice to meet all these nice people.
Yeah, totally true.
And yeah,
Non-classy friends together. That's right.
Yeah.
Like, and we
life's too short to be classy.
I don't know, like we obviously have a very different vibe than like everything that she does is so like
Thank you,
professional.
East and West Farms.
Thank you, East and West Farms.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you were like whispering it.
No,
to
I
me.
was just saying that while you were talking.
Oh, okay, I couldn't read it because I was talking.
That's why I said it. Anyway, what were you saying?
That I don't know. We're
Okay,
junky. We're
yeah.
trailer trash, and now our town is bouncing around a blight ordinance.
Get it? Trailer trash? There's a horse trailer in our driveway? Boom!
Oh, so loud.
Sorry.
Hard not to get burned out on making videos when a 20-minute task ends up taking 3 hours.
Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, so our town is.
Not really our town, just one person in it.
Well, let's be careful because there's people who are watching in our
But
town.
it's not. I mean, it's not like.
Yeah,
It's not like
so-
Julia Pemberton said, blight ordinance.
Right. So we live in a town that's
Super.
yeah, but it's on the more rural end of suburban.
Thanks, Rob.
And so there's some people, there's a certain property in our town that has a lot of goats, and
And when we say a lot of goats, we mean a lot of goats.
Yeah.
They've got probably like 40 goats on
right,
their
so
piece
so
of
we
property.
have 50 chickens, they have like 50 goats. Sometimes the goats go on the road, and it's a very divisive issue in the town. Some people feel very strongly on one side, some people feel very strongly on the other side. So they're trying to push a blight ordinance in there, which we're not like super big fans of, just because.
But we just hauled this like rusty 1990 trailer all the way
Yeah.
to, and it's sitting in our driveway. And our house was built like pre-zoning regulations, so it is very close to the road.
Yeah.
And there is not a place to park the trailer that's not
Right
very
in the road.
close to the road. And like if you're not the type of person who like deals with livestock or moves livestock, you might look at that trailer and be like, ugh, rust bucket. But we're
Yeah.
like, that will help us get a sick alpaca to the vet if that's what we need
Right,
to do.
right.
So anyway, hopefully no
Yeah.
blight ordinance is coming our way.
And there's already something in the zoning regulations about keeping a well manicured front. Anyway, zoning regulations are my cup of tea. But anyway,
Jaron Carlton, are you behind in the video?
she must be very busy over there.
Take the little progress bar at the bottom, take your mouse and drag it all the way to the right so you can join us in present times instead of watching like you're like 10 minutes behind.
That's definitely not a family member that we're giving
That's my
instructions
mom.
to.
Looking for a small animal trailer also to haul the goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the Sparrow, we got so lucky with this trailer
Yeah.
because livestock trailers are so extremely expensive, and
Yeah.
when we thought that we might like kind of need one quickly, we looked into buying one, and like the least expensive ones were still like thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
dollars. So we were like, yeah.
Even like 50-year-old ones on Facebook Marketplace that are just rusted out and like falling apart. They are still like a couple thousand.
Rob Foley, you're funny.
It's funny.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so
we
we
wish you
got
good luck
seriously
with your,
lucky, yeah.
with your search. Even the Sparrow, we got very lucky. And if you were
Yeah.
closer, we would be happy to lend it to you if you ever
Yeah.
needed.
I know a friend of ours had previously, she got an enclosed landscape trailer and then just cut out some sections and added windows to it because that was, I think, cheaper. So I think if you're just hauling goats around, that might work for you. You can probably get a smaller, like 4x6 or 4x8, whatever trailer. Maybe do it that way. That might be easier.
Is the only thing we have to move our alpacas, and some people who move alpacas, they get like passenger vans and just take the seats out of the back
Yeah.
because when alpacas transport, they usually cush, so
They just
they,
cush, yeah.
they lay down.
That might work for goats too, as long as you don't mind goats jumping in your lap.
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, I've seen tons of videos online of people with goats in the back seat of their
Yeah.
car.
So you can probably do that too. Probably get a cargo van cheaper than a trailer.
I bought a 10-foot Adams bumper pull. It's amazing to haul sheep and pigs. I want sheep. Someday.
Someday.
Need to hear more alpaca lingo.
Yeah, Cushing.
Cushing, yeah, it's a cute little lay down that they do because they get all tucked. It's very cute. You only
What
have
other alpaca lingo is there?
Kriya.
Kriya.
Mhm.
It's a baby alpaca.
That's all that springs
That's pretty much
immediately
it.
to mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have some of them soon.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Well, if we were gonna have them next year, we would need to start planning like.
There's no need to yell. We can start planning.
Oh, come to New York. Lambing starts in a week. Won't it be too cold for the baby lambs in a week? It makes me cold just thinking about it. Somebody just posted on Facebook that they had a cold day for a Kriya, and I was like, oh, that poor baby being born today.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe lambs are hardier than me.
Well, yeah, they have a permanent coat. But also, like, alpacas are from, the mountains in South America, so
Yeah,
they're
hardy.
used to the cold. They hardy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people who put plastic sheeting around their chicken coops because they think that they need it. It's like, yep, your chicken's got a down coat on.
Well, I'm sure the chickens probably appreciate that, but necessary. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, so the big news.
The big news.
The big news.
Drum roll. Oh, me say it?
You say it.
We got 2 new alpaca.
That was so quiet. We got 2 new alpacas, Connie and Sophie. So, do we have pictures? Can we show them pictures?
Nope.
No. Can't show you pictures because we're on my phone. But you can go to our Instagram at Old Reading Farm, and you can check out some pictures. So, you go ahead.
So there's a Facebook page called Alpaca. Is this where we were going to start?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the Facebook page called Alpaca Rehoming, and it's for rehoming only.
No sales.
No sales, no fees. It's just for people who are looking to rehome alpacas. And when I tell you that I lurk that page 24/7, I'm like, refresh, nothing yet, refresh, nothing yet. And it's been, I mean, we've been on that page for months.
8 months.
Yeah,
Better part of a year.
right. Yeah, exactly. But basically, since we started looking for alpacas, we were like, well, maybe we could get a free alpaca. That would be nice. And nothing. And it's funny because that page probably gets 10 to 15 posts a day, but it's all like, I'm located here and looking for some free alpacas. And it's like, oh yeah, you and everybody else.
Well, even if there was someone who posted something, it would end up being in
28 comments.
right in New Mexico or something.
Yeah,
like that.
right.
So
We're up to 7. Don't tell the town.
yeah.
That is not hard to do that math. So this woman who is in New York near Hudson Valley posted that she's looking to rehome 2 alpacas, and me on John's Facebook. I'm constantly on John's Facebook. I was like, oh, us, pick us. And it turns out that she also has 3 Great Danes, and we have 3 Great Danes, and I think that set us apart from the crowd.
Yeah.
So she picked us, and now we have 2 new alpacas, and their names are Sophie and Connie. Sophie is white, and she's got this really cute face outline. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. So the fiber usually covers past their ears, but hers kind of go. She's got more of a defined.
She's
face.
styling.
Yeah.
She's very cute. Yeah, it's Macy, one of our alpacas, she's got a very distinct basically just top knot, and she is so cute. And then Sophie's got I don't know, she's just adorable. And oh, this puppy's gonna eat the drywall. Don't do it.
She's all right. Love
And-
having dogs.
Yeah, and then Connie is brown, and she was about to give me a kiss on the lips the first day that we had her, and then Pebbles ruined it. So maybe someday.
Yeah. No, it was nice, and they even said that they didn't have the opportunity to really interact with them that much, so they weren't that used to humans. But they are fine.
Yeah.
They're really nice. And the best part about it is that they were able to just mingle with ours right away. There was no fighting, no kicking, no running around. They were able to just get in and become part of the herd.
Yeah, which is super nice.
Yeah, no troubles or anything like that. Because when we brought, and I'm sure they'll have their own clique. Because like, so we had Pumpkin, Marshmallow, and Mocha, the 3 Surreys. We got them first. And then when we got Macy and Linda, the 2 Wakayas, we brought them in, and they were kind of standoffish for a long time. And even still, like, if Macy goes somewhere, Linda follows her.
Not necessarily standoffish, because that sounds kind of aggressive, but they're just like a little bit separated. You
Right.
know?
They were just, so there was, these 3 and then these 2.
Yeah, you could tell that they weren't like
Right.
one single herd of alpacas.
Yeah, they were aloof.
Yeah.
But these 2 just came right in, and I think
It's almost like they've unified the whole herd,
yeah,
which is
now
cool.
they're all just one.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to see.
Yeah. And when they first, because it was also like right after the snowstorm that they arrived, so we like walked them into the pasture. This is me holding an alpaca lead. And the other girls were on the far side of the pasture, and Mocha came like galloping over, and I was a little bit like, is this going to be bad? Is this going to be aggressive? But everything was fine, so I don't know. We were thankful. White fiber is so far to die. So Sweet Pea Farm, we have 3 white alpacas, and the people that we got bye, have a good night. The people that we got, we really enjoy human names for livestock. Those were the names that they came with, so I'm pretty happy with those names. I think we'll keep them.
Gonna name the next one Paul. Just kidding.
So the 3 white alpacas, I think what the guy was telling us is that white is a really good color to use like as a mix-in to offset, because we have the one. It's gonna wait. This is not worth the wait. Feel free to go. But yeah, to use the white fiber as a mix-in, because we have like a dark kind of blacky brown, gray, and orange, and now like a standard brown. So if we use the white to mix in with those fibers, then it'll have some nice like pops and contrast. Do they respond to their names? A little bit sometimes. Maybe in the same way that like most animals, if you use like cute puppy voice, they respond. But I think Mocha knows her name, and Pumpkin.
It's hard to say. We don't do a whole lot. They can, for sure. And they say like treat training, same with dogs, will work with alpacas, but we haven't really found treats that they like. Because a lot of people say like cut up apples, or even animal crackers, or graham crackers, or whatever else. We've tried everything. Nothing really gets them. But yeah, thanks, Sweet Pea Farm.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Have a good night. They like their alpaca feed. They like their hay. They like grass. But nothing is like a super duper treat.
Yeah. So for the most part, when we have people who come over to our like house/farm and they want to see the animals, like my sister, my mom, John's parents, whoever. And like occasionally people from town will ask to come over and meet them, because we want everybody to be able to like feed them out of hands on molasses treats.
I'll write that one down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like homework at the end of every live. I lost my pen though. I blame the puppy.
Yeah, probably her fault. So anyway, so we
I was just gonna say that we feed the feed.
yeah, we do the feed, and then let's see. So someone else said something that's not coming up. Hold on. Whoa. Why is it not showing? Someone said something about, and I'm sorry I can't pull up the chat, but it said something about alpaca block or alfalfa blocks,
I hated those.
which we had. Yeah, they didn't hate them, but it was just not something that they were super crazy about.
At least they ate the animal crackers. I feel often when we go out there with any kind of treat, they won't even try it.
Right. Yeah.
They just sniff it. And
right. They like their
flick us
alpaca
off.
feed. They like their hay, and they like their grass, and that's it.
Peanut looks bored.
Yeah. No.
She's
She's still like way far behind. So.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, that happened so long ago.
Mom, catch up in the chat. And then, sorry, I didn't see who it was that asked that. Somebody said, "Oh, gardening in the north, is it easy to sell their fiber?" So last year we had only one of our alpacas worth of fiber processed into yarn, and that was very easy to sell. And then the woman who made the yarn for us purchased the rest of the like raw fiber from us to make into her own yarn to sell herself, and we didn't have any trouble offloading it. There's also, what's the alpaca?
New England Fiber Exchange or Fiber Association, something like
Yeah,
that.
so I'm not sure, if you're in Canada, I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but you probably have something similar. But it's like a pool where you can send your fiber into, your raw fiber into this alpaca fiber exchange mill pool. And they'll kind of give you credits, and then you can use those credits to buy more finished products, whether
Right.
it's yarn or fully knit gloves, or they make like those felt laundry ball things. And that's what the guy,
Who dropped off the alpacas? That's what he did.
right, he was asking us if we had heard of them, and we had, but he said that he buys like already knit hat and gloves from oh god, can we show that?
Yeah, sure. So I don't know if you can see it, but the puppy just came over and just slobbered
Slobbered.
all over Peanut.
Oh, what a sweet girl.
Anyway, yes, I'm wearing pajamas. But so yeah, so you might have like some kind of fiber pool up there that might work for you.
Yeah, or most, I mean, I think, I don't know, we've only used this one fiber mill, but this fiber mill that bought our fiber, we didn't need to do anything to it because we were a little afraid that we were going to need to like clean
Yeah.
or card, and we don't have that skill set, we don't have that time. She just, the shearer came, sheared into trash bags, we brought the trash bags to her, and she gave us money. We're just like
So if you're looking into getting alpacas, there's more than likely there's a fiber mill near you that would love to have some alpaca fiber because when we first got our alpacas, and this is a story I always tell when people talk about alpacas, is like we thought we would be the only people in town with them, but then as soon as we got them, we found out that our neighbor over here has 2 alpacas.
like a
and then-
5-minute walk.
Yeah,
from
and then there's a
here.
guy over here who's got 13, and so it's like you become like this little community, and so, we would ask them, "What do you do with the fiber?" And they're like, "Well, we got 3 years of fleece sitting in bags in the basement."
So that
but
was
like,
our fear.
yeah, that was what we were worried about.
That was kind of like the baseline of like what we were to expect as like, okay, this is the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
Is,
But then so the fiber mill bought the fiber mill bought the raw blankets, so the raw fiber right off the alpaca for what it cost to have them sheared minus the tip. So it was and I'll just be honest, it was $35 per alpaca to have them shorn, and so she bought them for $35 a blanket.
so not a good way to get rich.
Right. Well,
At all.
yeah, at all. I think in terms of feed cost in relation to the money made from the fiber, I don't think anybody gets into alpacas and figures they're gonna make a ton of money.
But I think next year, so now that we have 7 alpacas, and especially it helps that 2 we only have to feed for a few months before we get to shear them.
Yeah.
I think if we spin all of the fiber into yarn and sell all of the yarn, I think that will cover all of their costs.
Yeah. For the year, you're
I
thinking?
think so.
Well, I think next year would be a big goal of mine to do a better job record keeping so that we can figure stuff like that out. Especially if we want to do like slightly bigger scale. I think it's important to know what our
Costs were.
costs were, and like if we can figure out what our cost per chicken is, that would be nice. Not that it necessarily matters right now.
Yeah, once
but-
upon a time, basically the only cash that came into our lives was from selling chicken eggs. So we would put all that money into like a single jar, and then whenever we had to buy chicken food or hay or chips or whatever, we would take money out of that jar. So we knew that they were always paying their own rent.
Right.
But then, like, we were selling flowers and things.
Thanks, Justin. Dustin.
Bye, thank you,
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. But now, like, we were selling flowers and other things, so the cash jar got muddled, and
Right.
we save all of our receipts every time we go to Agway or wherever to buy livestock supplies, but we would really have to like get into the granular
Yeah.
detail.
But so it'd be nice to also have like some kind of software so that we can like enter it all in, so that we can just do boop, 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 and then figure out, you know, where we're at.
Hi, Dr. Mango.
Dr. Mango Deus Rex. Huh? Anyway, so that's our big news. That's what's going on in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's been an exciting few weeks, and once John gets these couple projects done out of the live edge wood,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be cool to have all those things taken care of.
Yeah, it will be nice.
Okay, so it's been an hour 5 minutes. I'm dynamically fantastic.
Well, I'm
Wow,
glad to hear
good
that.
for you. That's excellent.
That is excellent. So we are gonna dynamically
Exit.
exit.
It's been an hour.
So thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. So you can check us out every Wednesday. We go live. We put out videos on Monday and Friday. You can always check us out on Instagram at Old Reading Farm.
Should we take a quick poll of the 8 people here whether or not we should put out a video on Friday to keep on our schedule,
that's a
even
good
though that's
idea.
Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mulberry Branch goes live. We've got to go
Yeah.
get on Mulberry Branches live. Oh wait, quick before you leave, vote. Video Friday
Yeah.
or
You
don't
guys putting
waste
out
your
a video
time.
Friday or not?
Because we know it's Christmas. We don't want to take away time for your family, but like at the end of the day, if you don't watch it on Friday, whatever, you can watch it Saturday or Sunday.
because we know that it's appointment viewing when we put out the video.
Yes, right. First priority. Jeopardy music while we wait.
People are already exiting.
No, I know. We're down to 7 from 10, but. Okay,
Anyway.
well, we either will or won't have a video on Friday, and we hope everybody has a good Christmas. I'll be in the garden on Friday. Is that mahogany in your ear?
I don't think it is mahogany.
I think it's teak.
Teak sounds right.
Sorry, I can't make it on Christmas. Okay.
That's okay. And we were just saying about a video. But anyway, so we'll probably put one up, or maybe we won't.
We'll
But
see.
either way, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yes.
And thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good Christmas. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.